You're fired.
Hi everybody, I'm Brian.
And I'm James.
And this is Clutterducks Week in Review, and we're not making any more promises about doing one video a week because we can't seem to hold to that schedule.
And we're tired, and it's tough, and I just don't know if I can do it. But one thing we can do is read fan email.
We have fan emails?
We have fan email.
We have fans?
We have fans who have written emails that would like responses to their fan email.
Your wife doesn't count. Actually, no, she probably sent the hate mail. Most of it, actually.
Brian, why don't you read our first letter?
Certainly. And our first letter comes from Adam Anonymous, a.k.a. Anonymous. Okay. Dear Clutterduck staff, I am obsessed with Pokemon. It has gotten really bad as of late. I just have to catch them. All. I was wondering, what is your advice on trying to curb my collecting addiction? I love Pokemon so much, and when I see something Pokemon, I just have to buy it and own it. Please help. What do I do? Sincerely, Adam Anonymous.
Very interesting letter, and thank you, Adam, for the letter. And I do actually have some advice that I can give you about collections, whether it be Pokemon or Zelda or video games or toys or baseball cards. Collections can be a healthy thing when done in moderation. They shouldn't take over your life or consume you or be this all-encompassing item that you just must have that's going to basically stop you from doing work, from going out with friends, and having a very healthy lifestyle. So one piece of advice I can give you is inventory your collection. That way you know whether or not you have the item or if you don't have the item. Another thing you can do is just make sure... Brian?
Yeah?
Are you the one that sent this letter?
Maybe.
Okay. Once a month, we are going to answer fan emails, not sent by Brian. So if you would like your letter read on one of our YouTube videos, please send it to clutterducks@gmail.com. We will read and find the best one, and we will answer that email in a YouTube video next month. So as always, everyone, have fun and send us a letter. So anyways, we're going to talk about some of the games that were popular from last year that were very highly rated. So what's the first one we're talking about, Brian?
First one that we are talking about is Grand Theft Auto 5. This is the PS3 version. We also have the Xbox 360 version. But I played this version and I really, really enjoyed the game. I beat it. I played through it about 2 weeks. At that, I just played it non-stop. And it was definitely a lot of fun. It's just classic Grand Theft Auto gameplay. And the characters are really unforgettable too, especially Trevor on the cover here. He's absolutely insane. You probably know a guy or two like this in your life. A fun fact for you is this girl on the cover here that I'm pointing to, and we will do a close-up. Lindsay Lohan actually thought that this was imitating her likeness, so she sued Rockstar Games for royalties. And if you think that's as ridiculous as I do, leave your comments in the section below.
Another game that came out for the Xbox and the PS3 last year was a port from the PC version that came out in 2012. Isn't that right?
Yep, and that game is Diablo 3. And this is really fun. If you're into like the dungeon crawlers, hack and slash RPGs, this is the game for you. It basically just improves upon all the stuff from the first two Diablo games with enhanced graphics and gameplay, a lot more dungeons, a lot more cool rare items that you can get. And I definitely recommend picking this up. I did play a little bit of the PC version. I haven't played these, but I'm sure they're just as good. And I really can't wait for the next-gen console versions of this game to come out. So, something that a lot of hardcore gamers like to do after they've just thoroughly beaten and destroyed all these old school games is learn how to do speedruns of them to finish them as fast as possible. Isn't that right, James?
That's right, Brian. Speedrunning. It's been around for a while now. It started back with Nintendo, even the Atari 2600. A lot of people have been taking these old video games and they've been saying, how can I beat the game faster and faster and faster? To the point where they are doing frame-perfect jumps that are just absolutely insane and breaking the game, going into the original coding and saying, oh, there's something I can do here to skip 15 minutes, or there's something I can do here to skip another 5 minutes, or even 5 seconds. It's gotten very, very competitive. There's a site called Awesome Games Done Quick. I highly recommend taking a look at it. They show you how a lot of these games get broken. One of the very most popular games, and my English is bad, and we'll just skip it right now, is Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo 64. This is a game that's been speed running for quite a long time now because this game is close to 20 years old. With this, if you've played it the first time, it could take you weeks, even months, to get all the stars and to beat the game, and so on and so forth. Right now, and this is no joke, using a lot of funny jumps and glitches in the game, you can defeat this game in under 12 minutes, which is just absolutely ridiculous. It is something that you can try for yourself. You can try it on the original Nintendo 64. Some people are doing it on the Nintendo Wii, where you can download it, or the Wii U at this point, because you can do it there.
It's also the DS version.
Also the DS version. And what they did is they did keep a lot of the original coding for these, so that way you can use these glitches that they know are very popular. I highly recommend checking out one of these speedruns because it's just insane what people can do once they've played a game many, many times.
So keeping with the theme of speedrunning, I hear that a lot of players like to import Japanese games to do their speedruns. Is that correct?
That is correct. A lot of times, like I was saying before with the Super Mario Brothers, is these are coming down to fractions of seconds for world records. And they actually do hold world records for how fast you can beat any video game. So the Japanese text actually scrolls faster than English text. So a lot of people, when they're going to speedrun these games, look for Japanese versions. We just happen to have one here that people are speedrunning right now and trying to get the time down with. This is Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, Japanese edition. This is actually the Japan release of the Zelda Wind Waker game. As far as the storyline and the gameplay, it's almost identical, but you're going to save anywhere from 30 seconds to 4 to 5 minutes on the text because it is in Japanese, and it's easier to skip ahead, which is something that a lot of people want to do with this. To play this game, you actually do need a Japanese GameCube, and luck would have it, we have a Japanese GameCube, we have the Japanese game, we have the Japanese manual, and we have the Japanese memory card. So if you ever wanted to try speedrunning, now's your chance. You can get Zelda Wind Waker and start your speedrunning debut with a great game, because everyone knows I love Zelda.
I just didn't know if we were doing the fan mail sketch here.
No. Okay. We're not.
In your office, because that's really clean.
You leave my unclean office out of this.
Hey. Listen.
Domo's bad.
Hey, okay, if your poo is the same color as Domo here, that's bad. You need to go to the doctor.
We're recording. That's going in the video. That's very much going in the video.
That hurt.
Alright.